These guys don't know what the F they are doing. These are the words from one and the only Randy Orton on the Pat McAfee show today. Today, Randy Orton appeared on the Pat McAfee show. And if you guys ain't seen Pat McAfee show, go check it out. It's an amazing show. It's just like guys hanging out, having a conversation. But I'm not here to put over the Pat McAfee show. I'm here to talk about what was said in Randy Orton's interview. Ironically, today, I am wearing a Randy Orton RKO t-shirt. And the thing about Randy Orton is he's grew on me over the years, and I think he is the best worker right now inside the WWE. He's the best storyteller. He's the best seller. Everything about him has improved to the point to now where it's like Randy Orton is that veteran guy that you can rely on. Now, here's the quote of what Randy Orton was talking about inside WWE, and I'm going to break down some takeaways that I got from what was being said. And I quote, "There is an art to what we do, and a lot of guys have lost that art. Instead of selling a punch because you need to sell a punch, I'm now protecting myself because I don't want my effing jaw broken. That's unfortunate. The art of professional wrestling." When Vince was on, he talked about the number one priority above all being protecting your opponent. That's not taught necessarily in NXT. I know that because I've been in the ring with guys that came from NXT and they don't know what the F they are doing. It's unfortunate. It's just how things kind of are changing. End of quote. Now, what is surprising here is because Orton has this great friendship with Triple H, and the guys that he was in the ring with came from the Triple H era in NXT before Vince became more hands-on and changed everything, and the landscape made it NXT 2.0. Now, this is taking a shot at the trainers for saying, hey, you ain't training these guys how to protect your opponent. It's all, and earlier in that interview, Randy Orton talked about, it's all about the moves, all these moves, and it's all about just doing moves. There's no selling. And that in today's world, in today's wrestling, you guys cannot deny the fact that that is what wrestling has turned into. It's all about the spots. It's all about the flips. It's all about the dives. It's all about the next big move. It's all about get my stuff in. And you see when that stuff botches, people get hurt. People get injured when this stuff happens. Yes, there are places for these spots. Okay? But you can't make a whole match about spots and not tell a story at the same time, at least not match after match after match. So that is what I took away when Orton was mentioning the art, because he had already mentioned it. The art of professional wrestling is not so much the wrestling as much as it is as the storytelling, as much as it is as the selling. When you're a babyface, how do you sell? How do you get the fans to feel sympathy for you and get behind you? You sell, like he said, sell a punch because it's a punch. A heel's job is to make a crowd buy into the fact that this person, whoever it may be, is the most despicable person on planet Earth, and I want to see them get their head knocked off with the flipping shoulders by the babyface. It was a art to wrestling, and it's about storytelling. It's not all about spots. Yes, spots are great, and I'm not downgrading anybody who's quick on the feet and spot. There's a place for that in wrestling, and there were matches and there were guys and girls that, that's their thing, but how do you slow them down and make them tell a story? And the guys that I'm thinking of that Randy Orton has been in the ring with, and I'm not going to hit everybody, Keith Lee's known for being a pretty good worker, at least I thought. He's on AEW right now, and he was let go on the WWE. I've never heard any complaints or read anything where Keith Lee was a dangerous person to be with. The same with Ricochet, the same with Riddle. These are all guys that Orton has been in the ring with from a opponent standpoint at one time or the other. And them are the examples that I wrote down. by the way. But what got me is this new NXT. When I thought back to these older guys from NXT, I think of Adam Cole, baby. I think of, Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish. I think back to, Karrion Kross, and I think back to all these guys before the change happened. Was they dangerous workers? Well, I don't know. But according to Randy Orton, that some of these guys, whoever they are, and like I said, I'm sure some people may know, they're not great work. They're not so much not great workers, but they're not protecting you when you're the opponent, and it's not being taught in NXT. Maybe this is what brought on some of the change by Vince McMahon into the NXT, making it NXT 2.0. When I watch NXT 2.0, it is a more basic form of wrestling. It is a more basic form of getting down the basics of selling and getting down the basics of telling a story. The simple things. And it's simplified now. Brighter lights, but simplified inside the ring. So maybe that's what Vince is trying to do. Like, look, I'm going to have to get these guys into my image and get these guys on a professional standpoint level. And I know Vince McMahon gets a bad reputation. So, and I don't know the man personally, so I'm not going to sit here and defend him from a personal standpoint, but I'm telling you from a business standpoint, I believe Vince knows what he's doing. And I don't think Randy Orton was so much taking a shot at anybody either. I think Randy Orton was asked a question, he went into an explanation, and he just explained what he was seeing. He didn't throw nobody under the bus. He didn't throw, any wrestler names out there. He just pretty much said, hey, I've been in the ring with these guys. I know they're not safe. And it's not being taught necessarily down in NXT. Now, as far as I know, he's not been a part of any of the NXT 2.0 guys, but still. But that's all I have for you today, guys. Thank you all for tuning in, and hit that like and hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys later.